Should I wash my plants after harvest? Well, in this video, we're going to get into it. You're here with Mark Bowell at perfectgardens.com. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe. We got our $2.99 membership, and we have a VIP if you need a little more one-on-one. Link down in the description. Dean, love this comment. Wash your buds at harvest time. Got a reply back from Enrico. It's not so strong after washing. Enrico, actually, I would love to hear or read anything that you want to send me or maybe reply to this video. Definitely not saying you're wrong. And I can actually say that you're right. Although the only product I know that you can use to wash your plants and decrease the actual concentration of the essential oils on the plant is a water sugar product that, I hate to say it, and this isn't racist at any level, it's just the Asian market is predominant around using it over the last 10 years, what I would witness. They would actually use a water sugar product. I didn't know the chemical composition. The product was introduced to me and the salesman actually tried to sell it at my store and I refused to carry it just because it wasn't in line with my values. Basically what it was they would wash their product and it would make the trichomes and the crystals on the plant, the essential oils, look more sparkly and larger. But what was actually happening when you took the product and you tested it before using it and then after, you would have your concentration actually decrease by maybe 1 or 2%. And just to go back why this product wasn't in line with my values was because how these different communities would use it. And again, it wasn't just predominant in this one community. It was just, I would see it a lot more in this community. And why they would use it is they would actually increase the weight of the product too. So it wouldn't just look nicer, but it actually would increase the weight. And then obviously you're thinking you're picking up a box or two or something like that. But what you're actually picking up is 95 pounds or 190 pounds of material. And the end consumer ends up rejecting the product at some point. You start getting bad reviews really quickly. Obviously, it's because they're putting on a crystal that's a sugar with the essential oils, making it look the same, but in a sense, they're cutting their product. That's the only situation I can think of that would actually decrease the strength after washing it. So please, Enrico, post anything. I'd love to learn. Dean, for me, the only time I actually would ever wash my plants or put something onto my plants right before harvest is when I'm trying to solve a problem. Maybe I have PM, like you said, maybe some spider mites, some bugs, aphids, bugs that are on my plants, and I want to get them off of my plants. And you guys have to kind of think about the pros versus cons or your options really, right? Like no one wants to have bugs on your plants. No one wants to have powdery mildew. No one wants to use that product because if you use it and put it into your lungs, you could run into other health issues, especially if you're dealing with an asthma patient or COPD or whatever's going on. So if I'm making the decision to actually wash my plants, it's because I already have a problem, which kind of goes into what Enrico said a little bit. Enrico, you kind of have to decide, man, do you want to wash your plants and get rid of the bugs and the aphids and the powdery mildew? Because you could wash it in a higher concentration of hydrogen peroxide, which hydrogen peroxide just turns into water. And hydrogen peroxide doesn't react with the essential oils. There are chemicals that do react with the essential oils, things like sodium bicarbonate or ethanol or different types of solvents or degreasers that are natural products that you wouldn't think would be a big deal using them on your plants, but they do have residuals, which I could see changing once again the taste of the plant. Although you just using water or hydrogen peroxide, those two things will remove the bugs off your plants or kill the powdery mildew, which then will turn your flower into consumable product again. Just this year, I went home. It was in like January, February. My father had a stroke, so I came home and obviously the plants ended up not looking so well. My dad just threw them outside, letting nature do its course. Actually, the flower was really good, but by the time I went to in harvest and not really paying attention to any of it, there was some powdery mildew and there were some problems. I grabbed some hydrogen peroxide, I sprayed it down and let it dry out. I sprayed it a couple times. Even after I harvested it, I sprayed it a couple more times was making sure all the fur was off the plants, the PM, or at least it was killed, make sure it was well saturated. And I didn't have to go to the clubs and buy anything. Yeah, did it not look fancy? Did it kind of look deteriorated? And was it oxygenating because of the hydrogen peroxide quickly started breaking down? Yeah, of course. Does the hydrogen peroxide remove the microbiology on the surface of the plant, which then allows oxidation to happen and the breakdown of the plant? Yes, of course it does. So the product isn't going to have as long of a shelf life by using a washing product to clean it off. Although at least you get some medicine, and you're taking something that was not so good for yourself, or maybe it wasn't so attractive, and you returned it into a state that was usable. Nothing's perfect in life. And at the end of the day, I highly recommend you guys to maybe take some edible mushrooms and think just about the word farming, because a couple years ago, it really began to dawn on me that the word farming isn't this specific defined definition, right? Especially when you begin to live the life of a farmer. You wake up, you have to deal with changing environments, not just in the air, but also in the soil. You have to deal with bugs, you have to deal with all these different scenarios. And that really defines the word farming, because it's constantly changing. And if you want to be a great farmer, you have to learn to adapt to the changes so that you bring in the harvest one way or another in line with your values. I hope this video is interesting. Please remember to give me a thumbs up, like, share, and subscribe. Have a great grow, everyone. So, what are mother plants and why are they important in a grow room? Mother plants are specially selected plants that are kept for the purpose of producing cuttings for cloning. Mother plants have many benefits, but there are also some significant disadvantages to consider.